Boyce Watkins from Your Black World. I'm going to give you guys a chance to come into the conversation. I want to say welcome to drboycetv.com. This is the home for intelligent Black people. And I just got back from a really awesome weekend that I just had. In case you guys are following the channel, this was the weekend where I asked a beautiful Black woman to marry me. And fortunately, she said yes, which would have been really embarrassing if she said no. I will keep you guys posted on the wedding dates and all that stuff. I know I want to say thank you so much for all your congratulations that have been coming through. That really means a lot. That really means a lot to both of us. And the reason I shared this publicly is because I believe in celebrating not just Black love, but also celebrating Black women. I have a lot of respect for Black women. I think that being with a Black woman is, for some reason, people don't like to do that as much as they used to. I don't know what's going on with that, but you should be honored by the fact that a Black woman even wants to spend her time with you. And if you're not in a category, then I can't rock with you. I don't understand you, to be honest with you. Doesn't mean I'm dissing you. Doesn't mean I think you're a bad person. It just means I don't understand you. So that's just the honest to God truth. What's going on, Rock Smith and Marcus and Kenny and Yumina, Tina, Miami 34207, Monique, Lydia, Maya, Punky, how are you? What's going on? Rated R Radio, Ra. Let's see, CJ and Connected Motors. Good to see everybody. Shout out your city. Shout out the city that you're from, so everybody knows what city you're from. And also, don't forget, if you want to get a text notification when I go live, I won't send them this late because it's about 11:30 at night at the time I'm doing this recording. But I will send you a text periodically, a couple times a week. Just text my name, text Boyce to 31996. Just write that down. So if you're watching on your phone, you can do it after. Text Boyce to 31996. Please hit the thumbs up button. Please hit the thumbs up button if you haven't done that yet. Okay, so I see Compton, Florida, Okinawa, very cool. Jersey, Streamwood, Illinois, Arizona, Florida, Las Vegas, Cleveland, Ohio, Johannesburg, South Africa. I'm on vacation with my parents in Florida. Very nice. Enjoy it. My parents go on to Florida on vacation. I see Alabama, Maryland. All right, so I bet y'all Bama fans are upset that y'all let go of that good quarterback, Jalen Hurts. He's killing it in Oklahoma. He just broke records and everything. But anyway, so I follow football. I am a football fan. In case you didn't know, even though I do argue that we got to get our Black boys away from the sport, because I think all that brain damage is just a mess. So that's just my 2 cents on it. But you can do what you want. I'm just telling you what I'm reading. All right, so here's what. Okay. All right, so in Miami's from Bangkok. I see you. I want to make sure I acknowledge that as well. All right, so here's the deal. All right, so Nate Parker, you know Nate Parker. Anybody know Nate Parker? Yes or no? Do you know Nate Parker, the filmmaker who made the film Birth of a Nation? Are you familiar with Nate Parker? Give me a yes or no if you are familiar with Nate Parker. And let me familiarize you with who Nate Parker is. Nate Parker is a young brother who's an actor, filmmaker, talented guy, smart guy, very, very good at what he does. He made a great film, excellent film about Nat Turner called Birth of a Nation. Now, Birth of a Nation, for some reason, I'd have no idea. Birth of a Nation went from being, the must-see film of the year, one of the great films that we must see on a surefire Academy Award winner, to flopping, like literally just fucking flopping and like falling on his face. The film made $16.8 million. I think it cost more than, I think they bid 19 or 20 million to get the movie. So they lost money on that movie. And I'm like, how does a movie go from being, like woke to broke? Like, how does a movie go from being like, being the shit to being shit, right? Like, seriously, how do you go from being the shit to being shit? Like, I don't understand that. I just didn't get it. I was like, did they change the movie? Did they make it bad? Did they take out the actors? Did they change the script? Like, well, how does this work? Right. So that pretty much tells you a lot of times that things that are trendy, that which we define to be trendy and non-trendy, is a bunch of bullshit. It's all made up in our head. It's like, oh, this is the thing. This is the best movie ever. Oh, but then suddenly, y'all remember why? Y'all remember what happened in Nate's movie? Suddenly, in the middle of all of it, there was a scandal involving a Becky who apparently he'd had relations with back in the day, who somehow felt that Nate had violated her. And that led people to say, oh, well, that nigga's guilty. He must be guilty because Becky said so, and Becky killed herself. The poor girl, poor lady, she killed herself because she was having whatever psychological issue she was having, and they somehow linked that to Nate Parker. Now, here's the problem. Not that I don't have empathy for what she might have gone through, but the problem is that there was no evidence to say that he did anything with her. The problem is that you know, based on the way the transcripts, I read the transcripts because I was like, I'm not going to defend no rapists. If somebody's out here raping people, I am not getting behind anybody where there's evidence that you might have raped somebody. So I'm reading the transcript. So after the incident happened, allegedly, when Nate was about 19 years old in college, so he's much younger. So mind you, this is another thing they do. They bring shit up 20 years later and act like it happened yesterday. Like that's just dumb. Like, just so you know, when you're bringing shit up from 1997, you know, you must remember it's not 1998, it's 2019. So, but that's what people do because, you know, white people make all the rules and we have to follow. Apparently, some of y'all believe we have to follow those rules. So they brought this thing up from many, many years ago, and they apparently the girl had recorded a conversation. She's like, hi, I'm gonna catch you. I'm gonna record this conversation. Now, mind you, it's illegal to do that. It was illegal to record people's phone conversations without their permission, but she recorded the conversation because she's like, I'm gonna catch him on tape, whatever. And I read the transcript and I was reading it to say, I wonder if he sounds like, haha, I did it, or I got away with it, or there's nothing you can do about it, you know. And really what I was reading were the words of a 19-year-old freshman or sophomore, whatever he was, who basically was like, what are you talking about? Like, you were participating. Like, he was saying, like, you were actively participating, like you were grabbing things and putting things in your body and in your mouth or whatever people do in these, because it was like some crazy stuff. Like, seriously, you gotta warn your sons. Like, I mean, seriously, you get these situations where stuff is thrown at your son and he gonna jump at it because he think he's supposed to have sex with everything that moves. And I'm just telling you, if somebody comes out of that room and makes an accusation, the fact that everybody was drunk and nobody remembers what happened means that it's going to be his word against hers, and his word is going to be completely devalued. Her word will mean everything. His word will mean nothing. So it's like Robin Givens in a fight with Mike Tyson. She's Mike Tyson. Your son is Robin Givens, and he going to get knocked the fuck out. Seriously, like, when you send your son to college, you got to warn him about this environment, the way Title IX operates, just all of this stuff, because it's completely unfair. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's like, if you're going to believe everything she says, then why wouldn't you be believing everything I say? We're both human beings. We're supposed to be equal under the law. Oh, that's right. I'm 3/5 of a person, which is what you told me back during slavery. So apparently my word is only 3/5 of her word because she has no proof. I have no proof, but yet somehow you believe that her proof is better than my proof. That's pretty much what happens. So with Nate Parker, no proof. But except you know, Becky's tears, which are golden, made, you know, they're made out of platinum and they're worth $1,000 a gram. So her tears led people to empathize with her and say, oh, this must have happened to her because she's sad and she killed herself, right? So years later, now mind you, she didn't kill herself right away. She killed herself about 10 years down the line. So imagine this, you know, it's 20 years later, you're living your life, you're doing your thing. Somebody brings up something that happened 20 years ago, and then the person that you allegedly have this crazy incident with kills themselves 10 years later. Now, we don't know if she killed herself because she was embarrassed, because she got drunk and decided to hold it up that night. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. People do crazy things when they get drunk. I've seen guys get drunk and go kill people, and then they have to go to prison for the rest of their life. They're very depressed too. Some of them killed themselves because they're like, oh my God, I got drunk, I got high. How could I do this, right? So the thing about it is that, you know, that lots of bad things happen when people drink and use drugs. That's why I tell you guys, I'm just telling you, I'm very much against drugs and alcohol. Any type of mind-altering substance, be very careful. In college, they push that shit on you. You know, like Malcolm X used to say, the white man will sell you the liquor bottle and then he'll lock you up for being drunk. So when your child goes to college, everybody's going to try to get him to down as much liquor as possible, because that, for some reason, that's some college tradition that I didn't come up with. When I was a college professor at Syracuse, I used to fight like hell to tell them, like, why are you constantly pushing these students to drink? Like, do you understand how many terrible things happen when they get drunk? These girls that go in the bedroom, they do things with guys that they would normally never do, and then they regret it later. Next thing you know, somebody's getting a rape charge. Like if we could avoid all of this, if we just stop promoting alcohol, like stop promoting an alcoholic culture, and then you won't get these alcoholic outcomes. So anyway, so here's the deal. So basically, his movie got tanked. Nate Parker's movie got tanked and blown away. You know, I remember talking to, I was doing an interview, a radio segment with Damon Dash, and the director of the Tupac movie. I can't remember his name, Benny Boom, I think it was his name. He came in. And we were talking about Nate Parker and whether or not these accusations are more likely to occur against a black man or if this conversation is happening because he's a black director. I think Benny kind of got it. I like Benny. He was a very smart guy. I read through the transcripts of exactly what allegedly happened and the conversation he had with the girl. I saw no reason to believe that he did anything. Now, here's the thing. Just because I didn't see any reason to believe that he did it doesn't mean he didn't do it. But the way the law is supposed to operate, and I have to remind people of this, is that it doesn't matter if you think somebody did something. It doesn't matter if you have no evidence that they didn't do it. A black man should not have to prove that he's innocent. You have to prove that he's guilty. That's the way the law is supposed to work. That's what they call beyond a reasonable doubt. Does anybody understand that concept? Do you understand that concept? When they talk about the court of law, one statement they always make when they talk about the law is that they'd rather send let 1,000 guilty men go free before they lock up one innocent person. That means that in order for them to punish you for a crime, they must feel that you are guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. So being found not guilty is not the same standard as being found innocent. So what y'all got brothers out here trying to prove that they're innocent. It's hard to prove that you're innocent. Because innocent means, like, if somebody says, "Hey, Dr. Boyce, I heard you stole some cookies upstairs," and I say, "I did not steal those cookies. I'm innocent." You say, "Well, prove that you're innocent." I'm like, "I don't know how to prove to you that I did not steal cookies." Well, Dr. Boyce, you must provide evidence that you did not eat cookies anytime in the last 24 hours. And I'm like, "What do you want me to do? Do you want me to pump my stomach? Do you want me to go show you whatever it was that fell out into the toilet in the last 24 hours? Like, what can I do? How can I prove that I didn't commit this crime?" That's a stupid argument. That's a dumb argument. That's when they got you on the defensive when you shouldn't be on the defensive. See, black men are out here defending ourselves when we shouldn't have to defend shit. What should happen is the accuser. The burden of proof is on the accuser. The burden of proof is on the person who wants to destroy your life and accuse you of a terrible crime that's going to stigmatize you until the day you die. The burden of proof, if you come to me and you say, "Dr. Boyce, I think you stole some cookies upstairs," I can sit back and say, "Okay, prove it. Prove it. Show me you got some cookie crumbs. You got a trail of cookie crumbs that go down from the basement. You got video of that shit. Did you see me take the cookie? Are the cookies missing? And do the cookies missing cookies? Does the cookie wrapper have my fingerprints on it? Right? Give me some proof. It's on you. You need to do the work. If you're trying to destroy my life and destroy my reputation, you must do the work to prove that I committed that crime. Does that make sense to you? Does that make sense? Tell me yes or no. Do you guys get what I'm saying here? Do you understand what it means to have the burden of proof on the accuser and not on the accused? Do you understand this? And if you understand that, then you understand why it's crazy that these black men are being locked up for alleged sexual assaults where there's no proof that it ever happened. It's just somebody saying, "Oh, it was done to me." The Albert Wilson case in Kansas is one of the greatest examples of that. The Quintez Cephas case, where this brother just got off, almost had his whole life ruined. He just got off on his trial, and I hope he sues the shit out of the University of Wisconsin for their racism. And I hope he sues the accusers because these two girls invite him in for a threesome, and then they say, "Oh, we were drunk. So you raped us because we were drunk." And I was like, "But he was drunk too. So does that mean y'all raped him? Because that was two of y'all, only one of him." Like, well, y'all don't understand. I thought y'all all got high and drunk together and decided to all go get nasty together. I'm not judging. Do what you want. I don't judge nobody's sexuality. Seriously, I don't care who you sleep with. That's on you. But at the end of the day, how are you saying that he must have raped you because you were intoxicated when he was intoxicated too? This is the dumb shit that they're expecting you to believe. This is the dumb stuff that they're expecting you to buy into. And this is the stuff that I don't believe any intelligent person can make sense of. Like, again, I'm a mathematician. 2 + 2 always equals 4 to me. You can't tell me 2 + 2 equals -185. I can't do that math. I can't do white people math. I can't do Me Too math. Me Too math doesn't make any sense to me, to be honest with you. It just doesn't make any sense. Hit the thumbs up button. Please hit the thumbs up button, share, and subscribe button. Also, don't forget, we have the All Black National Convention coming up. You can go to allblacknationalconvention.com, and I'll also be in Louisville speaking at the Black Entrepreneur or the Diverse Entrepreneur Summit. So if you'd like to come to that, you live in Louisville, you want to fly in, you can go to drboycelouisville.com. That's drboycelouisville.com. All right, so here's the thing. All right, so Nate Parker is now on an apology tour. He's out apologizing for some reason, and I'm reading the article. And maybe that's just their strategy. Like, okay, we're going to just bow down to these white folks and give them let them hear what they want to hear so they feel better, so that they're reminded that they dominate you. And that way your movie can get out. So he's got this movie called, what is it? Is it American Skin? Yeah, it's called American Skin. and it looks interesting. It's about a cop whose son gets killed, or a man whose son gets killed by a cop, and so I guess the father goes out and gets revenge for his son. I would support it, but I kind of honestly have a hard time watching more movies about black people being traumatized. I don't know about y'all. Does anybody else go through that where you just really like when they're like, oh, we're going to show you a movie that's all about being poor and black and being shot at, right? And you're like, I don't really want to see that anymore of that. Like I've lived through that. I have friends that are dead. I've seen, like I have friends that have gone to prison for things they did not do. I've had, like it doesn't mean I'm saying these movies are bad. I'll support them, but like a movie like that where I know I'm going to be traumatized, where I'm going to walk out of the theater pissed off, I would probably do something like buy a movie ticket and then give the ticket away to somebody in line. Like I bought a ticket. I'm not going in because I'm tired of seeing black trauma on screen. Like, I don't want to see, like, if I know some shit, like if I've already seen it, I don't want to see it again, man. Like, maybe that's for white people so they can feel sorry for us or something. There are black people that are kind of trying to do it, trying to heighten white awareness or something. Let them watch it, because I've already seen that movie. Seriously, that's just my 2 cents, and I'm not dissing or nothing like that. I can't watch that. Now the Nat Turner movie, shoot, Birth of a Nation. If y'all ain't seen that, see, y'all should be ashamed of your damn selves. Y'all gonna go support some damn Popeye's chicken. Y'all gonna go support Black Panther and all this other stuff. But we can't support Birth of a Nation. Birth of a Nation was some real shit. Anybody see that movie? That movie was damn good. If you have it on, if you can get it on DVD, if you can get it on your Netflix or whatever, I don't know where the movie's at now, but wherever you can get it online, every movie's available somewhere online. Just Google it and they'll tell you where you can buy it. Watch that movie. That movie was well done. Nate Parker did a good job. I'm sure he did a great job with American Skin because he's a very good director. Well, one thing I will say, I will stand by as well, is one, I don't understand why he's apologizing. There's no substantive reason that he should be apologizing. He didn't do anything. There's no proof. He wasn't convicted. He shouldn't be apologizing for shit. But there is a more pragmatic, practical reason why he's apologizing. The reason he's apologizing is because he's in white Hollywood. He's in white Jewish Hollywood. That's the rule. The rule is that if they tell you to apologize, then your black ass got to apologize. Even if you're like, I didn't do nothing. But they like, well, apologize anyway, nigga. So you're like, okay, I'm sorry, master. I apologize. What are you apologizing for? I don't know, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Just let me put my movie out, please. I need your help. Go, black people. We don't got no industry. We don't got no movie thing. We can't do what you do, master. We need you, master. I'm sorry. Oh God, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, master. Okay, I'm sorry. I just had to apologize. So, because that's how you get ahead in America. You gotta get on your knees and apologize, because because they get mad. I don't tell them not to get mad at me because I didn't do nothing. So that's how you get ahead when you black in Hollywood. It's called the crying game. That's what I call it, the crying game. The crying game is that black people have been trained, many of us have been trained for a very long time, that the way to get attention, to get resources, to get opportunities is to run around crying like little bitches and to cry to white people all day long about how hard it is to be black and how sad we are and how miserable we are and how they need to be nicer to us. And then so either crying or you're apologizing. Either way, if you shed a couple tears or something, maybe that helps you get in. Now I'll shed tears over things I believe in. I'll shed tears because I believe in the power of black people. I'll shed tears over my woman, that black woman. I told you, y'all saw me. I proposed to her. If I get up to, I'll put the video on the channel. It's not on my Dr. Boyce channel yet, but I'll show you all the video. I shed a tear over this beautiful black woman because I was so honored and thrilled to have the opportunity to be her husband. But y'all ain't gonna see me crying or begging or apologizing or pleading with those people, with everybody else, so they can give me an opportunity, especially when I ain't did shit wrong. Seriously, Nate did not do anything wrong, at least based on the evidence. There is no evidence. I'm not saying it means Nate never did anything wrong to anybody, but there's no evidence. And until there's evidence, then I will not understand that apology from a substantive standpoint. I understand it from a pragmatic standpoint. I think somebody probably said, look, just say what they want to hear so we can get the movie out. And that's pretty much what I was gathering, that it was all just a bunch of bullshit that he's spitting out in order to get the movie through. And if that's the case, then it is what it is. You got to do what you got to do. But one of the things I got to tell you all black people is that long term, we got to have a plan B. Plan B for Plan Black. Your Plan B has to be something where long term we have to have our own industry. Long term, you can't tell me Nate Parker, Spike Lee, and all their famous friends can't get together and create a Black Hollywood that's completely independent of white Jewish control, right? Doesn't mean that you can't partner with those individuals, but integration was a false bill of goods that was sold to you. That was a motherfucking lie. If anybody needs to be apologizing, they need to be apologizing for feeding you that civil rights march bullshit for the last 50 years that led you to run around and give up everything you own so you can go beg other people for opportunities. Seriously, doesn't mean you can't partner with them, but this is not a partnership. This is a dictatorship. This is not equity. This is oppression. Black people have not advanced since integration. We've actually gone backwards. Black wealth and ownership goes down. Malcolm X, go watch Malcolm X speech. Malcolm X speech, the House Negro and the Field Negro. I need y'all. That's your homework assignment for today, because y'all know this is the platform for intelligent Black people. So I'm gonna give you homework. Homework assignment for today is go watch Malcolm X's speech. It's 23 minutes long. If you ain't got a lot of time, just put it on. You can speed up the YouTube videos. A little button you can hit where you can listen to it at 150%. Hear that speech, because what he describes is basically exactly what you have right now in terms of Black people you have the House Negroes and the Field Negroes. The House Negroes want to be in the house. The House Negroes don't want too much change. The House Negroes are like, we living good, we eating good, we got a nice house, we doing good, boss, right? But the masses of Black people are Field Negroes. The masses are not eating good and living good. It's only the select Negroes that get to live in the house. And so when the Field Negroes say, hey, let's revolt, the House Negroes are like, why should we revolt? This is good. This is great, right? Why should we, So the House Negroes, unfortunately, are the people that are in maybe high-ranking Black officials in the Democratic Party. People like, unfortunately, Jay-Z is in that House Negro category, especially with him yucking it up next to the NFL commissioner, whatever. The black people in Black Hollywood are House Negroes, not that because they're bad people, but because they are the select Negroes amongst the many, right? And so what will happen is that you'll see one House Negro get a little bit of success, and we'll start cheering like as if that person helped the masses, when the masses, the millions of Field Negroes, are being left behind. And so basically my point is to say that, this sort of House Negro, Field Negro divide has to be eliminated so that we can actually have institutions that can accommodate the masses. So if you have a Black Hollywood, then you're not dealing with what you have with a white Hollywood. White Hollywood, you have a situation where white people control almost everything, and they give a couple of Black people little jobs here and there and opportunities here and there. If you have a Black Hollywood situation, then you have where Black people are controlling most of it. Black people are getting thousands and thousands and thousands of jobs, and then we let a couple of white people in if we decide to let them in. Right? We control that narrative. So ultimately what I think is, again, Nate Parker, Spike Lee, people like that, maybe they're not going to do, maybe again, being being inside the house can be intoxicating. It can make you feel comfortable with an uncomfortable situation. And you got, all your buddies, all your white friends, and you're speaking, you're checking all the boxes of the Democratic Party in terms of what they're telling you to say. Most Negroes on TV, most Negroes in Hollywood are operating on a script. When you are not on the script, they take you off TV. Malcolm addresses that as well when he talks about particular prominent Negroes that they selected back in the 1960s to put on television so that they would actually have a script to read that basically took over anything that was revolutionary in the Black community and made it fit in to what white folks wanted the conclusion to be. So ultimately, what I will say to you at the end of the day is that if you want to break away from all of this, we need our own industry. We need our own everything. So ultimately, with Nate Parker's film, I hate seeing a strong Black man having to apologize, but that's the price he has to pay for the game that he's in. I encourage you to consider playing a different game. That, to be in that position is not aspirational. It doesn't inspire me at all. There's nothing about that life that makes me say, "Ooh, I wish I could be where he is," because there's too much that you have to give away in terms of your integrity. So I'd almost say that it doesn't mean you have to hate the Black people in Hollywood. It just means you probably need to pick some different heroes, and we need to elevate some different heroes. Like we have Black people that are making Black films that are extremely good that we can also support. If you love Popeye's chicken, we have Black people that own Black-owned restaurants that make excellent chicken that could boost literally and become multimillionaires off of Black dollars. You know, if you have, you know, sports leagues, you have black people starting sports leagues, that if black people supported those sports leagues, they could take off to the moon. Popeye's chicken. Did y'all know? A lot of people. How many of y'all heard about the Popeye's chicken, that the advertising, free advertising? They got 23 million in free advertising from the black community alone. How many of y'all heard that? Anybody else hear that? Did anybody read that? Yes or no? Yes, 23 million. Well, let me tell you this. Here's what I'm gonna tell you. That's actually not true. Popeyes did not get 26 million, 23 million from black people. Actually, the number is 65 million. Now, you know, as the days have gone by, the estimate has gone up, and it's eventually going to be 100 million, I'm sure. And I'm sure they've already made 100 million from the black community, from the chicken sales added with the free advertising, right? So my thought is, you know, what if there were black businesses where we could instantly, with the snap of a finger, you know, put $100 million in their pocket like that? You know, just literally, like a black movie comes out, a blackbuster film comes out, not blockbuster, blackbuster, a black film we're all excited about. And because we all feel obligated to go see it with the same energy and fervor we had for going to see the Black Panther, that movie you instantly have black filmmakers, a black film production company that has $100 million in the bank to make more movies. How cool would that be? How awesome would that be? Can y'all see this vision with me? I think that is so awesome. Like, to know that a black filmmaker, maybe I could bring them on this channel, like a guy like a Rick Mathis or Mark Harris or whatever. They, you know, the same way white people do this all the time. White people do this all the time. Why do you think Disney owns ESPN, and then they own movie studios? And so they're making films on this hand, Disney Studios, they're making tons of movies, but then they own tons of media outlets like ABC. Well, because what they do is they say, we're going to make a movie in the right hand, and then we're going to promote it in the left hand. We're going to take that movie, and we're going to promote it on our television networks, and that movie will instantly put 50 million, 100 million, 200 million dollars in our pockets. Or if it's a big movie, it's a Marvel movie, we're going to put $1 billion in our pockets, because the very same media outlets we own, we're going to use that to boost up and elevate the films that we make. Our community will do that. They will have our back. So we can have the same thing. So let me give you an example. Let's say Rick Mathis or Mark Harris makes a black movie. It's a black-owned movie, completely black. Or you get great black movies like Tariq Nasheed's Hidden Color series, or The Melanin Code, which is a damn good movie. The Melanin Code, you know, comes out. Byron, I forgot the brother's last name, the director of that movie. If you know his name, please write it in there. I can't remember his name. But let's say that they make the movie, right, and then they hit up, you know, myself. And let's say Michael Imhotep, who has 1 million people on the African History Network. They hit up Jamal Brewer. Okay, man, thank you. They hit up Jamal Brewer, who owns Black Knowledge, and they hit all of us up, and we become their ABC, NBC, whatever. And we promote that movie, and then all the people that are in the customer base decide, yeah, I want to see that movie with my family. That's really important. Then instantly you have these blackbuster films that come out where they're cranking in $10-20 million in the first week or two, because black people are so enthusiastic about it. I think Hidden Colors is about the closest thing we have to that, but we've got a lot of other great black filmmakers. Dorian Chandler. I mean, there are so many great black filmmakers out here that we can support. I don't think we have to support what they create until we finish supporting what we've created. Also, I don't think we have to support what black people create, you know, in Hollywood faster than we support what black people create right in the hood. Because when black people create that stuff, when I say in the hood, I'm talking about where the field Negroes live. Anybody else a field Negro on here? I'm a field Negro. I don't get invited. You know, I'm not part of, you know, the Hollywood space. I know people there. I met people there. When you get famous, you get to know people, right? You know, I don't get invited to talk on CNN on a regular basis because I don't go according to anybody's script, right? So you know, to me, when you have films that are positioned in the field Negro space, they come out of the field Negro space. If all of us as field Negroes decide, and maybe we can call ourselves something different, field soldiers. How about that? Field soldiers. If all of us as field soldiers step in and support the hell out of that movie and push it and monetize it and literally help those filmmakers, that production company, bring in $10 million, you know, in the first couple of weeks, then guess what happens? They can make better movies. They can hire more black people. They can do they can go buy a building. They can do all these amazing things where you don't have to go out west to find yourself and to find your opportunity. Opportunities will be created right there in your community. Let's start with that 1.3 trillion in our pocket, or at least a fraction of that. Do you know that if we just literally increased black spending by 10%, that will be more than any amount of reparations white people will give us? Literally, do you know that if we increased black spending with black businesses by about 10%, maybe 15%, something like that, that we would literally have more money than they would ever pay us in a reparations check. We could give ourselves our own reparations tomorrow if we increase Black spending by 10%. So let's just think about this and support ourselves and support each other so that we don't have to humiliate ourselves by sending people off to Hollywood and doing these fucking apology tours, you know, and all this other stuff that doesn't make any sense to us. So I'm going to go, guys. Hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. Thank you. I saw somebody made a donation earlier, and here we go. TM, thank you very much. TM says, like Chris Rock says, Shaq is rich, but the white guy that signs Shaq's check is wealthy. I agree. And Shaq is becoming wealthy, though, because he's owning a lot of stuff. I'm telling you, Shaq's doing a really good job. But hit the thumbs up button. Also, don't forget the All Black National Conventions this month. That's going to be in Houston. The discounted hotel rooms will not be available in 5 days. So you probably want to go ahead and lock that in. Go to allblacknationalconvention.com. That's allblacknationalconvention.com. I'll be in Louisville on the 14th. If you want to come out to hear me speak in Louisville, just go to drboycelouisville.com. That's drboycelouisville.com. And then I'm going to do my last investing seminar in New York in October. If you want to go to that, go to drboycenewyork.com. That's drboycenewyork.com. And also, if you haven't learned to buy your first share of stock, I've been telling everybody I want all Black people investing because that's where a big chunk of American wealth is being created. You can get started with $5 in 5 minutes. Go to blackmoney100.com. I have a free, totally free training that you can watch. You're going to love this video. Over a million people have watched this video and everybody loves it. You can go to blackmoney100.com, just sign up and you will get a free training on how to buy your first share of stock. And that's the other piece of your homework. I want you to do two things. One, watch that Malcolm X speech about the house Negro and the field Negro so you can understand what's going on in your society right now. And two, become an investor. Go to blackmoney100.com, sign up, watch the video. Again, speed it up. Just take a few minutes and you'll be a stock market investor by the end of the day. Then when I come on the channel and I talk about what's going on in the markets, y'all will understand it and we'll be building together. Because I'm telling you, I want to be a field Negro. I want not a field Negro. I'm a field soldier. I'm a field soldier. And to me, I want the field to be the place where the empires are built. I'm not trying to get into the house. I'd rather build houses and plant seeds. There you go. So take care, guys. I'm gonna go hang out with my woman. She got a pizza, and we about to go watch some I don't know, Netflix and chill or something. So maybe I'll get lucky. Wink, wink. I'll see you guys later. Take care. Have a good night. Peace.